M Performance Racing Series Turbo Cup make their way back onto the track for the second heat of the day and the start of all the second heats of the day at the same time. Bob Neal's car hopefully has been sorted out, and so has Leon Lopes's. They had some problems with those two cars in Heat 1. Southern Ontario was in a big battle, but remember what happens now with Heat 2. There is a invert on the grid. Top 5 are inverted on each of the classes, so there'll be a little bit of work to do for them. Coming from the lead of the race to the back of the race. Carl, be careful because the floor's wet as you come in here, bud. That's going to hurt. So as they come through, it is Turbo Cup in the house one more time. Michelle Singh this time will start from the front row. Pommersheim has to start from 4th. Bob Neal and Leon Lopes will be 5 and 6 having gone into the pit lane. So there'll be a little bit of work to do for those cars coming from the inverted grid. Hopefully to try and get back to the front end. Pommersheim's had the pace, certainly, amongst everybody else out there. And the fact that Cashin Naika was not out there in the first heat just boded well for Anton Pommersheim to extend his lead in the championship. It's also a possibility of a lead in the overall championship for him too. So a bit of work to be done there for the BMW M Performance Racing Series man if he comes back. But I know he's got dual duties. There are international duties as well as local duties that Cashin is involved in. So we'll have to keep an eye out on his progress. Also looking for a change of luck there for the Victron Energy car. Coming to the line, such a great battle, ending up with the three cars almost, I think, 0.3 of a second between them in the end for what was Class C's honours at the end of the first heat. A little bit of cloud cover coming over. That's always nice for the engines and for the cars. Not so great for the track temperature, but of course it wouldn't have too much of an effect because it looks like it's partially clouded at the moment as opposed to the full overcast conditions and rain we had yesterday. They won't be enjoying the rain if the rain did come, but they will definitely be enjoying almost ideal conditions now for race cars because slightly cooler air with that cloud cover coming over just makes the engines work a bit better. It makes the tyres work a bit harder, but it's certainly a lot cooler in the cockpit as well for the driver.
No, not even that, colder air compresses better, and that's what these vehicles need. The cold air to create the power to do the lap times they've been doing. Anton Pommersheim, we saw the pace he had. We talk about pace. He's got about a second at the moment that he can spare. I said he wouldn't run around close to the 102s in the previous race, but he ran in lower 103s, which was more than good enough to build the gap that he did. And I'm sure it'll be good enough to get him further up the field. Because Shen Naika, I didn't even notice that he wasn't taking part in the first heat, to be honest. There was so much action going on at the time. But we'll see what he can do from... Where? On the grid?
No, he's not there.
Oh, no, he's not there at all.
There must have been some kind of a problem there for his car.
Yeah, so 991 not there anymore.
GT. It was the dominant car. Of course, had passion for speed at the first round. Back on board once again with Craig Herbst in the Victron Energy car, looking back at him. We saw how happy he was at the end of race 1 after that magic battle he had with the Master Mo's car of Eugene, as well as the Hilligen car. And they, of course, now start from the back of the pack of Class C. But 27 cars about to go to battle once again here in M Performance Racing Series Turbo Cup.
One of the ones I want to see is Vessel Mostert again make those moves that he was making like in the first heat. Let's see if he can do it and then still hang on to where he was. We don't want to see him leave the circuit again this time. But some great moves from him throughout Heat 1 to try and move himself up the order.
For sure.
The Pete Noort safety car heads into the pits, which hands it over to Nishal Singh to control the pace. He slows it right down. He's got the outside line, and we see him come through and wait for the lights to go off. The lights are still on. He looks up. Lights are out, and we are racing down into turn 1. Class A gets the start just ahead of Class B. There will be gaps between all the fields to try and separate the classes out heading through turn 1 and 2. And with 20 odd cars on the grid, it is a far better idea. It's a big send down the inside. That was from Leonard Archer. I think the new pink hairstyle giving him a bit of confidence into turn 2. He looked for the move. Ethan Coetzee also looking for a move now on the exit of turn 2. That car managed to stay in gear this time and keep him facing in the right direction.
Yes, Craig Herbst on the inside of Eugene Coase as they come through turn 2, Cashel corner, heading towards 3, trying to close things down and get up as quickly as he can to the front end. He wants to try and find a way to the front end of Class C as quickly as possible if he can, so that he's got a chance of at least getting in the overall victory. Remember, with the overall victory for these guys doesn't necessarily work on their times. Lead car is now Sav Gutteri. Pomasham in second, Archer's third, Bob Neal, Nishal Singh, and then Leon Lopesha. Salvi Gutteri leads things out over the second of the Autoniche cars, and then right on his tail is Ethan Gutsia. So the leaders and winners of race 1 have got to the front pretty rapidly. They're not all at the front yet, but they're nearly there.
It looks like Kroos has lost that position through 6 as well, so there was a long-winded pass all the way through 3, 4, and 5, but it finally ended into 6 as we watch the Class C's come into turn 1. That 6, 7 of Gutierrez all over the place into turn 1, defending and then opening the door again last minute, but he goes middle of the track into turn 2. This is helping the likes of Ethan Gutierrez hang on to the front pack and try and move himself into the front as quick as possible. But in the front of the Class A, it's Sav Gutierrez and Anton Parmesan fighting over that lead. Down the inside, Kroos to take a place back. And it looked like that was on the 327 car of, quick scroll down. 327 of CN Moodley losing a place there. Craig Herbst has lost a lot of time. Always in the front.
No, I think he's lost a bit of time. I think they just hit him. No, he is. He's in the front. No, you're right. He has hit the front. He's found a way past. So he sneaks up to the lead and tries to hang on now, possibly for the win in Class C. Class D, I should say.
Well, we know Kroos is fast in Class D. He needs to get the hammer down and get away from him as soon as possible. The more he battles to move himself up the field, the better it's going to be. But they're also going to run into the back of the Class C battle, which is what we saw in race 1. And it brought the Class D battle very, very... Oh, Kroos is wide.
Gets forced wide there by the Hejo transport machine of Miller. And Johan Miller trying to find a way past, but this is on board with Craigie as he goes down into turn 8.
Not smiling just yet, but that's because he's in the lead and he's got a few laps left to go. Yeah. There's that M2 coming through our shot. A great looking new version of the BMW. But it just shows how well the body shape of all these cars have aged. None of them look out of place.
Not at all. It's really great to see how well they all work as well together as a pack and put some of the most amazing race action. So, Salvi Gutteri trying to hang on to the front end of Class C. He's got Honor Naidu in the Autoniche car there in second, but massive pressure coming from Ethan Gutierrez. Gutierrez looking for a dive on the inside up towards turn 5. Is he close enough? No, not close enough to get on the inside of that SO Autotech car. And nearly found a way past.
The variance in these cars, some with more horsepower, some with more handling. So certain areas of the circuit, one is better than the other, and this is where Ethan's car looks really good. He's right up the back bumper. He almost rides into the back bumper on the brakes into aids, but he just doesn't have the confidence there to get the move done. Ethan Gutierrez very, very well versed behind the wheel of a race car. He's gotten the cutback on the exit of 8. He's got the inside of 1, but the door is firmly shut in front of him.
How was that? That was great from Naidu. Watching in the background as Cam Christian closes that gap down on them. He's not too far away from joining the party here. We'll watch coming out of turn 2 as well, just behind that. High in front of Maver, starting to put the pressure on in the third of the Sav Speed cars. Looking for a chance to possibly squeeze through there and get a little bit higher up than what he is at this stage.
Oh, Salvi on the brakes. That car stepped up so badly as he tried to get it into turn 4. He stood on the brakes and it looked like the back wheels wanted to lock up, but he's managed to make it through and quickly. Ethan Gutierrez has got a good run out of 4, but he's going to have to be braver than what he has been on the brakes to get a move done.
He's certainly trying as hard as he can to find a way past, but hasn't worked out quite just yet.
There it is.
Here's another look, another little nose up the inside trying to find a way. No, not into turn 6, but he might have a good drive coming out of turn 7. Down the hill again. This is exactly where he wants to be. But on a night, sees him coming and goes defensive.
He has a switchback. He did it the lap before. He's going to get early on the power and try and get up the inside. The SA AutoCare car is aware of it. He's moving over into turn 1. Bit of a late move. Ethan might be complaining about that after the race, but it is definitely close racing between the two of them. But all of this allowing Gutierrez to just stretch the legs out in front and build his gap of the Class C lead at the moment.
Craig Herbst looking to close things down now. As you can see, he's going on board with him towards turn 2. Castrol corner. He goes late on the brakes. Nice run there from the second of the SA Autotech BMs. That's that M2 you were chatting about. And Herbst is behind him at the moment, so he's got a bit of work to do. And we're about to get to the halfway stage. Lap 4 and then into lap 5. It takes us to halfway of the 10-lap race here for the second heat. Oh, is it maybe a 12? This is a 12.
I've got on the time screen. We've got 7 laps to go, so I think it might be a 12 lap.
I beg your pardon. Yeah, it is. It's 2 extra laps. Reverse grid. Yeah, reverse grid. That's why. My apologies. That's the reason for it. Bob Neal and Leon Lopes are still going at each other there, which is quite good to see. Have they got ahead there of Leonard Archer?
Yes.
I think they have. Yeah, they have. Archer's dropped back. So race 1 winner has gone from hero to number 5. I'm not going to say 0 yet. He's not 0 yet.
Oh, best control BMW, all kinds of over the curb. Hang on to that. Why don't you?
Nice one. Pesting himself through there. What a pest he is. Somebody needs to get control of him.
He definitely controlled that pest all the way through that right hand.
Well,
a great job from him. Well held.
Still fighting hard there with the 327.
There's the driver I like to see to come to the field, is it not? Is that Morstad looking for his way around the outside of turn 8? He didn't get on the power the way he wanted to. Are they going to go side by side through one? It's 3 cars looking for a way past. Round the outside, and one he goes. Is he going to be brave to stick it down the brakes into turn 2? We've got 3 cars side by side. Is that the leaders of A coming through the pack?
It is. That's Parmesan trying to squeeze through the middle and get into the middle of this little race. Miller around the outside. Parmesan has already found such good pace. He's already into the back end of Class C and D. And looking for a chance now to squeeze through there to get ahead. Put some breathing space between himself and the rest of the cars behind him.
Yeah, there's onto Parmesan looking for a way up
in the background. There comes the black V8. There it is. Squeezing through as well, just as quickly and pretty much almost identically as rapidly through that pack of cars as what we saw Parmesan do.
Not the leaders of Class D, are these, Craig? This is Craig Herbst currently leading Class D. This is Mike Robler.
Yeah. So you got Craig Herbst leading Class D, and Mike Robler with Cyan Mudley and Johan Miller behind him. So there's Robler, there's Parmesan, then Mudley. Mostert has joined the party.
It looks to me that Mostert's done it again. He's actually mixing it up with the D's at the moment, as opposed to being up with the C's where we saw him early on. So maybe another mishap as he almost ends up in the inside wall of turn 1.
Krobler with a bit of attention being shown around the outside by the lead car. He won't be too worried about Parmesan. He'll let him go through there and just get on his merry way. Close will be the next car to be caught by the leader. As the 24C car there, just slowing slightly of Nick Naidu. Nick Naidu with some problems. So not going to go according to plan there for him. 24 car there of Naidu, unfortunately slowing up.
Oh, there it is. Very slow on the outside. Hazards ablaze. And the yellow flag is out as they head up there, but it's Sav Gutierrez in second place at the moment, looking for a way past. He's caught Parmesan. Parmesan in the 992's lost a lot of time on Sav Gutierrez there, and I think this is why he's trying to get his way through the back markers. There's cars all over the place. That was the 66. I think that's
Lopesha. That's Lopesha slowing down. Lopesha with some problems in the closing stages again.
So the Class A 66 of Leon Lopesha looks like he's just going to do a circulation for points. Close gets out the way for Sav to come past. Sav's got his finger pointing somewhere, or was that a thank you?
No, that was Sav saying you should have got out the way earlier on.
But he's definitely caught the gap on Parmesan at the moment. Parmesan, a driver that did a lot of karting, cut his teeth at karting with the D2s, moved to KZ, and then straight into the BMW Performance Parts Series, and doing a great job of it in Class A at the moment.
It's a good run there from Anton Parmesan, keeping it all together at the front end, but he's got massive pressure from a man who's got huge amounts of experience in BMWs.
I think a huge amount of experience in any sort of race car at the moment. A lot of laps put in, and not only that, a lot of work done to prep a lot of these cars on the grid. So not only does he have the driver knowledge, he also has the mechanical knowledge and the technical idea of how to get these cars to go around the track fast, as we see this new M2 coming under pressure from that of the Victron Energy car driven by Craig Herbst. He is currently the leader of Class D and is starting to mix it up in Class C. Did we not expect Craig, one of these, no, it was in the turbo class that we were worried about a breakout? Or the NA class?
This is the turbo class, but he's going so well that he's putting the pressure onto the Class C cars there of Chetty. So Sheldon Chetty starting to feel the pressure coming from behind from the leader of Class D. So Herbst's going really well at this point in time. Class C at the moment, I think, is in the hands of Ethan Kutsia. I think he might have found a way through. I just saw in the background Kutsia's car ahead of that red car of Salvi Gutierrez, so there was a change up for the lead of Class C. No worries at the front end for the Parmesan car and Sav, but Sav was closing on Parmesan, so we'll keep an eye on that as well, just in case anything happens in the next lap or so, because we're about to start the final lap.
Nishal Singh, we just caught him there. He's up
3 more laps to go. Sorry, 3 more laps to go. 12 laps.
So Nishal Singh coming through the shop there. He's up into
There's
5th place. There's confirmation. You are right. There is a penal change. Whoa! Great catch.
Well,
and all the cars missed him.
Hein van der Merwe missed out there by Nicky Dix and Cam Christian as they came past. Just avoiding the sliding. It's a third of the Sav Speed cars there, so it's one of the cars that Sav Gutteri does the preparation on.
The OMP liveried EC BMW V think here still holds out on Class C, but just barely against the Gutierrez. We know that Salvi's good, we know that he's quick, and we know he knows the Zwartkops circuit very, very well. So let's see if he can regain. He's going to go around the outside of turn number 5. Ethan Wise to that. He's too
Salvi's
much.
out of shape. Onto the dirt. It's going to allow the other 2 cars through. Yep, there we go. Altanish car sneaking through. Salvi gets it eventually back onto the circuit. It took him a while to come out of the dirty stuff. It's thrown him right into the clutches of Nicky Dix by the looks of things.
Yeah, it's Naidu and Benny Lut that have gained from that so far. It looks like Nicky Dix is going to make a way past down into turn number 8. Whether he got it done or not, we don't know. There's that limping Leon Lobscher heading through turn 1 as our current leader of Class C makes it through turn 1 as well.
I think that might actually be the Seaman car. Yeah, it is the Seaman car there, unfortunately. It's not
Oh, it's not.
But similar looking car. There's a lot of them look the same though, but so don't worry. I feel your pain.
There's also a lot of very white cars.
Yeah, there's a lot of white.
At the first race of the season.
That is your leader of Class C, Ethan Kutsia. Behind him, Arnold Naidu, and right on his tail, Benny Late. Then behind that, you can see Nicky Dix, Cam Christian, Salvi Gutteri, now trying to make up some ground. At least get himself back into the top 3 if he can. And he did have the pace earlier on, so possibilities is he can still hang on and get up into that top 3.
A lot of smoke coming out of the exhaust of that car of Salvi, but it is a turbo vehicle, so any sort of seal starts slightly going, you do tend to see that smoke. There's our leaders again. It's the 992 of Anton Pommerschein, looking to clear the back markers. He gets past Salvi down the inside into turn number 8 quite easy. It is the last lap, and he will be coming to take the checkered flag. Anton Pommerschein takes the win of race 2 in Class A of the BMW Turbo Parts Performance. BMW M Performance Parts Turbo. There we go.
Turbo Cup.
Turbo Cup.
Well done to Sav. 2nd place there for him. Bob Neal will come through for 3rd place in Class A. And he's going to hang on just to beat out Leonard Archer, Nishal Singh, and Leon Lobscher. And it's going to be Ethan Kutsia for Class C's honours. If we pick up on him somewhere around the track, these guys are still flat out. I don't think they've realised. No, they haven't got the chicken flag. That's why they're still flat out. That's the 21 car coming through there of Benny Late.
He's got him past.
He actually has. Yeah, he's got ahead of Arnold Naidu. This is Hilligen. There's Ethan Kutsia coming for the win for Class C. And easily done. Once he got to the front end, he kind of got some clear air, which was able to give him some breathing room and get away from the pack that were fighting behind. So Benny Late just in the late stages there, squeezing out Arnold Naidu for 2nd place in Class C. And Nicky Dix eventually coming through for 4th ahead of Salvi Gutteri, who's in the 5th spot. There is Pommerschein. I don't think he saw the checkered flag. That's why he's coming through for a 2nd time. There were about 4 cars ahead of him, so he probably missed the flag completely. That's the reason why he's taken the flag for the 2nd time today. But there it is, M Performance Racing Series Turbo Cup Race 2. Unofficial results there. Going to... Just how are you doing there? Pommerschein, Gutteri, and Bob Neal, top 3 in Class A. Class B went to... Or Class C, I should say, went to Ethan Kutsia, Benny Late, and Arnold Naidu. And Class D to Craig Hapst, ahead of Michael Krobler and Eugene Goos.